All right, how many of you are ready to start school? Okay, there are a few honest people, or crazy people, which I don't know which it is. If I'd ask it this way, we'd get even less response. How many teachers are excited about going to school again? Yeah, I knew I'd get that one. How about this way? How many parents are excited about the kids getting out of the house? There we go. I knew that would get the most. Yep, we're about that time of year again. Getting ready to go to school. Things are kicking off. College students will be in here before too long. Everything's starting to happen. That cycle just comes around every single year. I have a question for you. If you're starting up school, if you're going to teach, if you are whatever way you are involved in school, maybe it's our preschool. Here's my question. What are you looking for in school? What are you trying to accomplish? What kind of goals have you set? How many of you are thinking a lot about this is what I want to have happen, this is where I'm going, and by the way, I'm going to do it well. Let's put it this way. How many of you are expecting excellence out of yourself? There you go. One or two people have said yes. Excellence. I've told you before that I failed in that because I went to school every year, get a B and get out. That's what I did. I got a B and I got out. But I left a lot of stuff on the table. And I've paid a price ever since. I want us to think about spiritual excellence. And as we open up the school year, there are a few things that I want to say with respect to excellence. If we are expecting out of our children excellence in school, if we're expecting as teachers to do excellent work, if teachers expect students to be excellent in their work, I want us to think about spiritual excellence. Paul used that term in this text when he said to approve things that are excellent. That word in the Greek is diaphero, and literally it is a compound word that means to bear up through or to carry through. Here's what it means: to pick it up and take it all the way to the end. That's what he says is excellence. Now, when we think about excellence, we probably have a much more objective look. In other words, excellence is straight A's. You know, I even met somebody one time who was crying because she made her first B in the history of school. Wow. Excellence is straight A's all the time. That's an objective way of looking at it. That's not what this word means. It's not about an object. The word excellence is a word, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. So that excellence is the journey of life. It refers to you get started, don't quit. When you pick it up, you just keep moving. Don't set it down. Don't go in any other place. Stay with it, boy. Hang in there. That is excellence. Now let's say that you decided that you want to have this year, your goal in school is excellence. The process, the journey of excellence, really going through all the way to the end. Then what is going to be necessary? Well, let me tell you this. The first thing you better do is desperately desire it. Guess what? You will not accidentally fall into excellence. It's not a destination. Excellence is a choice. Excellence is something you decide that I want so badly that I can taste it. It has consumed me. Excellence says you either all are in or you're all out. Excellence won't allow a half-hearted attempt at anything. Again, it's not so much about whether you got an A or a B. It's about you were all in. You went all the way through to the end. Because not everybody does exactly the same thing in the same way. But we can all be excellent in the journey. Because we can all pick it up. And once we start down that path, we can hold on to it all the way to the end. So you better desperately want it. If you really want to be excellent in school, it has to be something that consumes you. Number 2, be ready to be challenged. Everywhere you go, in your excellence, be ready to be challenged. Well, now Satan's going to challenge you. I know that. Because, he doesn't want you to be excellent anyway. But now, listen, be ready. It's not going to be easy. The journey of excellence is not easy. It's tough. There are going to be some who are going to try to stop you. You be excellent. Hang right in there. Because everywhere you go, at every point in your life while you're in school, you're going to be challenged by somebody in some way, or something is going to challenge you more than you had thought would happen. I'm telling you, if you want to be excellent, you got to be ready to be challenged. But don't quit. Because number 3, if you want to be excellent this year in school, pay attention to how you are being improved while you're on the journey of excellence. If you stick to it, if you don't quit, if you hang right in there, if you pick it up and carry it all the way to the end, you're going to find a confidence that you've never had before. You're going to build on that confidence. You're going to improve yourself. You're going to see next year better than this year. Why? Because you're on a journey of excellence. And it is something you will see happening in your life. Number 4, if your goal is excellence in school this year, do excellent things, and you'll find excellence. It is a fact that if you intend to be excellent, there is a way to do that. There are things that fit the category of excellence. There are things that are on the journey and on the road to excellence. There is something about excellent lifestyle that you can see, that you have to do. It's there for you, and everybody will see it. Teachers will notice it. Parents will notice it. Your friends will notice it. Everybody will notice when you are deciding to be excellent, because excellence is visible. You can see it. And right now, if I ask you I'm asking you, no if about it. Put a name in your head right now of somebody that you have said they are on the road to excellence. They are living an excellent lifestyle. When I think of excellence, I think of this person. You probably have someone in your mind, and they are there because you see it. So, I hope you'll be excellent this year in school. But if you want to be, that's how it's going to have to be done. Let's talk about spiritual excellence. Look at our text of Philippians chapter 1, and let's think about spiritual excellence for just a minute. Verse 8, Paul was writing to these Christians, and he said, I am greatly affectionate for you. I long for you. You know what Paul wanted for them? He wanted them to find spiritual excellence. I want you to find it. You should want me to find it. Those men who shepherd us, they want us to find excellence. And we should expect excellence out of them. Because we love each other. That's a part of this whole concept. Because we love each other, we should encourage spiritual excellence. Let's notice what Paul says about excellence. Number 1, verse 9, spiritual excellence is never satisfied. Content, not satisfied. Here's what I mean. Notice what the text says. I pray that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and all discernment. Not satisfied. Love is the foundation, the motivation for excellence. God loved us and sent His Son. That's excellent. Can't do anything better. And since that is true, we love Him, and we then should bring excellence to Him. We should offer ourselves excellence. He gave excellence to us, and we give excellence back. But it's never satisfied. He says love should abound more and more. Let me illustrate it this way. Those of us who are parents can help everybody else understand it. You remember that first child? And you said, I can't love anyone any more than this. I'm full. And then the second child came along. Wait a minute. Yes, I do. I got room for another one. And the third one came along and, I have more room. And then some just don't quit. 5, 6, 8, 10. I'm sure somewhere along the line there was a limit for me. I know it. Here's the point. Yes, you can have more and more. You can have more love. You think you're there? No, you can have more. That's why he says abound more and more. Never being satisfied in love. Number 2, never being satisfied in your knowledge. In your spiritual excellence journey, you will never know enough. We will never know enough. It can't happen. You're not going to arrive. That's why this is not a destination. It's a journey. The spiritual excellence is a journey of knowledge. You don't get satisfied with the knowledge you have of God's Word right now, because if you're satisfied with it, you'll quit reading and you'll quit studying because you got enough. And number 3, don't ever be satisfied. that you understand it as well as you can. Every Bible class I teach, it seems like somebody says something that connects in a way that I had not thought of. And here I am teaching, thinking, I got all the answers. I'm going to hand them out. And then I keep getting more questions. You know why? Because the more you know, the more you study, the more you understand. Spiritual excellence is a journey of never being satisfied. You can have more, do more, be more. The journey of spiritual excellence. Number 2, the journey of spiritual excellence takes and passes every single test. Paul said, I want you to have more and more love so that you may approve the things that are excellent. The word approved in this text is our word for document, dokimazo. In other words, write it down. That's the proof. We were talking in Bible class this morning about the book of Daniel. When God said to Daniel when he finished, he said, seal it up. Why did he say seal it up? Because it's a long way off before it's going to be fulfilled. But when it is fulfilled, you'll be able to look back and go, wow, I see it. You know why you could see it? Because it was documented long before it happened that it was going to happen. That's how prophecy works. Daniel documented it before it ever happened so that when it happened, you could read it and go, wow, that's God, because no man by himself could have known that. Take the test. Put God's stuff to the test, and God's stuff will always win. Don't be afraid of any challenge. Don't be afraid of any test. Don't be afraid of any trouble, trial, or controversy. On the journey of excellence, you can face every single one and you can win. It doesn't mean that you won't be damaged a little bit. It doesn't mean that you won't be uncomfortable some. It doesn't mean that everything's going to work out just the way you want it. But if you stay on the journey, you picked it up, carry it all the way to the end. That's excellence. Facing every test and passing every test. Number 3, the journey of spiritual excellence changes you all along the way. Any Christian who is not better tomorrow than he or she was today has stepped off the road of excellence. If you can't look back at your life and say, this year I'm farther along, better along than I was last year, then you have jumped off the road of excellence. Now, the road of excellence doesn't mean you're always going up, because life causes dips. But I do believe it means over the span of time you're going up. It's like the stock market. It's up and it's down and it's up and it's down. Whatever it is right now, it's not down at 5,000. It's constantly, gradually, over time. That's the spiritual excellence journey of a Christian. And it'll change you. It'll change you as you go along. Notice verse 10, that you will be sincere. You know what that word means? Transparent. That you will be transparent. You're not hiding anything. This is who you are. You're not putting on a show for anybody. This is who you are. You are a Christian. You are on the road of excellence. You're not fooling anybody. And number 2, you won't be offensive. If you're on the road of excellence, you will be transparent and you won't be offending people because you are thinking about what you need to be doing and how you need to live, and you're not going to be so caught up in looking at everybody else and judging everybody else and being offended. Just keep moving forward. And finally, number 4, verse 11. Being filled with the fruits of righteousness. If you want to attain, if you want to be on the road of spiritual excellence, everybody ought to be able to see it. They ought to see it. And spiritual excellence is not just about the show. It's not about showing up every now and then and sitting in a pew. It's not about covering up your bad habits when people are around so that they don't see them and you go back to them when they're not there. That one always interests me anyway, because if you can control it while they're there, we ought to be able to control it when they're not there. Spiritual excellence will be seen. They will see you living higher than merely putting on a show for somebody. Spiritual excellence. Now, not every one of us, Jesus told the story. 5 talent people, 2 talent people, 1 talent people. Excellence is not defined by how many talents you have. Excellence is defined by the journey you take with the talents you have. Therefore, every one of us can be on the road of spiritual excellence. So as we think about going back to school and thinking about being excellent in school, let's use that as a motivation for us in our Christian lives. Let's get on the road of spiritual excellence and dedicate ourselves to picking it up and carrying it all the way to the end. You know where the end is? The end is not the destination when you finally get everything. The end is when you meet your Lord. That's the end. Therefore, the journey of spiritual excellence is a life lived in an upward trajectory until the Lord comes and takes you home. That is going to be excellent. If you're not a child of God, you're not all you were meant to be. Today you can give your life to the Lord, and in simple obedience, trusting Him for your salvation, completing it in baptism, and begin your journey of spiritual excellence. Sometimes we get off the trail, and if you need to come back to spiritual excellence, just talk to God, you and God, and say, God, I'm ready to start. Talk to someone you trust and get them to help you. Or tell all of us, and we'll help you if you'll come as we stand and sing.